Hi, I'm Jon Decker, PGA golf instructor and author of the book, Golf is My Life, Glorifying God Through the Game. Today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite shots in golf, and that's the knockdown shot. And what I mean by that is I'm going to take a club, I've got a pitching wedge here, and I'm not going to try to hit a full shot. Many times on the golf course, I try to lower my trajectory of my shots. For example, if I'm playing on a real windy day and I have a lot of wind in my face, one of the biggest mistakes that I see the average golfer make is they take the same club that they would normally always hit and they just make a longer swing or a faster swing. Or they might take one more club, which is ideal, but then they still try to make a full swing. The shape of your swing has a lot to do with your trajectory. Remember, if you're hitting a sand wedge or a gap wedge or a pitching wedge and you make a full swing, the ball is not really going to go much farther than it does when you make a normal swing. What it's going to do is really go higher. But remember, when it goes higher, you've got the wind in your face, you're actually going to lose distance. So a lot of times students will actually lose distance just because they don't know how to control the trajectory of the shot. Now, how the knockdown shot works is this. Number one is you always take more club than you need. For example, I have a pitching wedge here, and a comfortable pitching wedge for me is about 125 yards. I can make it go a little longer if I need to, or a little shorter, but if I make a normal swing, it's going to go somewhere between 120 and 125. But in this situation, I'm 100 yards from the green. I've got a lot of wind in my face. So what I'm going to do is, normally it would be a gap wedge. I'm going to take a pitching wedge. I'm going to choke down on the club about an inch. And then I've got two boards here. I'm basically going to try to swing, and when I go back I want my left arm to be parallel to the first board. And then when I come through, I want my right arm to be parallel to the second board. I don't want to have a long follow through. So I call it the shape of my swing should be something like this. You know, you see Tiger hit this shot a lot when he was winning tournaments. That was one of the shots that he hit extremely well. Being able to control your wedges, being able to hit a lower trajectory wedge is very important to scoring. The other adjustment that I'm going to make is I'm going to narrow my stance. Anytime I choke down on my club, I narrow my stance. This is going to help, again, hit a lower trajectory shot. So I'm going to take my normal grip, set up to the ball. I'm choking down the club, which means I need to stand a little closer to the ball. Open my left foot and just narrow my right foot. Normally my right foot might be right there. I'm going to narrow it to right here. Swing back. I'm going to go parallel to the first board. Coming through, I'm going to go parallel to the second board, just like this. I would be extremely happy with that shot. I like the trajectory of it. It was hit a lot lower than I normally would hit it. Notice I still made a divot. I'm always making a divot. My finish is right here, and that's something I always try to stick. One of the things that I would encourage you to do before you hit your shot, don't think of it as a practice swing. Think of it as a rehearsal swing. So before I hit a shot, I like to label my shots. So I'll say, I'm going to hit a knockdown shot. It could be a 9-iron, it could be a pitching wedge, sand wedge. The club doesn't matter. Immediately, I think of these two boards. And I think to myself, here, there, here, there. Don't want the club back here. We don't want the long follow through for this shot. Try the knockdown shot, work with it on your wedges, and you're going to lower